Mastering prompt engineering.
How you ask the AI just as important as what it knows.
You can have the most powerful AI, but if you don't know how to talk to it, you don't get the results you need. This is where prompt engineering comes in. It's the art and science of crafting effective prompts. Common prompting pitfalls to dodge. Be wary of vague prompts, make it secure, and sanitize user input is a good start, but it's still vague. Secure against what? What kind of sanitization? For which language or framework? Missing context. If the AI doesn't know what the rest of your application looks like, how can it give you perfectly fitting code? Unclear requirements. If you don't fully understand what you need, the AI definitely won't. Basic prompting techniques. These are fundamentals, and you should make them a habit. Be specific and clear. Don't say, write a function. Specify the programming language, framework, and version, and any specific requirement. Here's an example of a poor prompt. Create a database class. A better prompt would be, create a C# database class that loads data from SQLite database using Entity Framework Core. Provide context. Include relevant details about your project and existing architecture. The more context the AI has, the better its output. An example of a poor prompt, add authentication to the API. A better one would be, add JSON Web Token authentication to the first API application using OAuth 2. The application already has user management endpoints. Ask direct questions. Be specific. Clearly state what you need the AI to do. Don't make it guess. A poor prompt can be, I need help with a database. A better one is, write a C# repository class for handling user data in SQLite database. Include CRUD operations and async methods. Specify format. If you need the output in a particular format, for example JSON, specific class structures, ask for it. Here is a poor prompt. Show me how to implement authentication. A better prompt, show me a complete fast API authentication implementation using JSON Web Token, include token generation, token validation, protected routes, error handling, format the response as a markdown code block with explanations. Advanced prompting technique. Once you've mastered the basics, you can explore more advanced strategies. Few-shot prompting. Provide multiple examples of what you want. This helps the AI understand the desired pattern or style. Here is an example. Instead of a poor prompt like classify the sentiment of the review, a few-shot prompting would be, the task is to classify the sentiment of the review as positive, negative, or neutral. Examples. If the review is, I loved the service and the food was amazing, the sentiment would be positive. If the review is, the meal was okay, but the place was too noisy, the sentiment would be neutral. If the review is, I hated the pasta, it was overcooked and bland, the sentiment would be negative. Now classify this review. The food was decent. Chain of thoughts, or COT. For complex tasks, guide the AI by breaking the problem down into logical steps. Ask it to think step by step. Here is an example of COT prompting. First, analyze the requirements. I need a REST API endpoints. It must handle file uploads, must validate file type, must store in cloud storage. Here you can also specify which cloud provider you are using, whether you are using, for example, AWS, GCP, Azure, and so on, whether you are using S3 buckets to store objects, for example, or a database like MongoDB, PostgreSQL, and so on. Then break down the implementation. Create endpoint structures, add validation middleware, implement cloud storage integration, add error handling. Finally, generate the complete implementation in Node.js. Contextual priming. Provide relevant context or information before you ask for the main task. This warms up the AI with the right background. Here is an example. Context. This is a TypeScript React application using Material UI components. The task is to create reusable form component that uses Material UI components, implements form validation, supports conditional rendering, includes error handling. Please provide the implementation with TypeScript types and examples. Self-consistency. This is a neat trick. You ask the AI to generate multiple solutions to the same problem, perhaps with slightly different phrasing of the prompt or by adjusting parameters like temperature if the tool allows. Then you look to the common elements or the majority consensus in the responses. This helps identify the most reliable solution by comparing different implementations. It's particularly useful when you are dealing with complex tasks, working with models that might produce inconsistent results. You simply need higher confidence in the generated code, or you want to learn and discover different alternative solutions. Here is an example of self-consistency prompting. Generate 3 different implementations of a Python function to validate an email address. Each implementation should check for valid format, verify domain existence, handle international domains, include error messages. After generating the implementation, analyze them and provide the most consistent approach. Here is an example in which I used Cursor with Claude Sonnet for Max mode to transform my project's code base into insightful visualization. With just 2 targeted prompts, I was able to generate 2 distinct perspectives of my application's homepage layout. The first prompt is, please investigate the code base and give me a visualization of the homepage layout and which component or service is responsible for each part in it. This prompt delivered a comprehensive component interaction diagram revealing the intricate relationships within my project. The second prompt is, please give me a visualization of the layout for the home page without a diagram, but painted, and mention which service or component is responsible for each part on it. This prompt rendered a clear high-level layout visualization perfect for understanding the structural hierarchy. This powerful combination of Cursor's intelligent environment and Claude Sonnet's analytical capabilities significantly streamlined my understanding of the code base and made complex architecture instantly digestible. Turn the tables. Make the AI ask you. You know what you want the AI to whip up, but you are a bit fuzzy on all the super specific details and context it might need? No worry. Here is a little trick for your advanced prompting. Just slap this golden phrase onto the end of your prompt. Don't make assumptions, ask me questions. This simple addition can transform a monologue into a dialogue, coaxing the AI to work with you to clarify ambiguity. Et voila! Instead of your AI buddy taking a wild guess and potentially building you a digital skyscraper while you just wanted a nice birdhouse, it will pause and ask you for the vital tidbits it's missing. This way, you're guided to a more accurate and tailored result, especially when you are wading into complex coding challenges or topics where you are not the seasoned guru yet. It's not just for code generation. Remember, these AI assistants can be your partners beyond just churning out lines of code. Use them for brainstorming, stuck on a problem, talk it through with your AI, analyzing and optimizing task descriptions, get help refining your problem statements, splitting tasks, break down large daunting tasks into smaller, more manageable subtasks, visualizing data or information. Some AIs can help you understand complex data. Generating diagrams. Needs a sequence diagram to explain how JWTs work? You can prompt for that. For example, please give me a mermaid sequence diagram that explains how JWT authentication works. Then copy and paste that code into a tool or app that can visualize the mermaid diagram, like this online website or the IntelliJ IDEA mermaid extension. If you are excited to diving deeper into the world of modern software engineering from architecture to cloud and security, check out my video courses where I explore these concepts further and tackle real-world challenges. The link to the courses is in the video description below. And here is a bonus. Subscribe to my newsletter and you will get free and discount access to my video courses.